Hello, I'm Adam, and I would like to show you a recently new shop that's just opened up. Real Deal Games over here. It is a very nice retro game shop with modern games as well, and it's really, really nice. So I would like to show you inside.
Yeah, then come and set some high scores. I'm all doing them. I'm all doing that's a high score. Oh, that's a good one actually. There you go, buddy. Super bomb in there. Every time when I kill
So we have many things here. So, like for example, we have some really nice PS1 games. There's also there's like a PlayStation because you've got PS4, PlayStation 2, PS3. Basically, it's the PlayStation R really. And you can even see here they've got one of the original PlayStations. Very nice. Before they started making them smaller, we actually had one like this. And I really do have many memories of playing many games on one similar to this. I also accidentally broke one and we had to get it fixed. And yeah, because I accidentally messed around and a ball bearing fell in the bloody thing. But you know, it's fine. We fixed it. We moved on. I apologise like a million times. And of course, you know, it's also DVDs if you're the sort who likes looking into places for your DVDs you maybe watched in your childhood, or, you know, you're just one of those people that likes looking at DVDs, you know. Also, what I think is quite nice, you do a lot of 3D printing as well, and all these models are like these are on sale as well, and some of them look really nice as well. And I mean, like, for example, this Supersonic, you got a really nice Mimikyu here. And just some nice stuff. Like, another reason to come down here. Also some nice, I mean, look at these, like, laser engraving coasters. They are really nice. If there's one thing I do like, it's engraved coasters. Because you get this really nice sort of effect on them, like, it's just really nice design. 3D printers, isn't it? But it's really good. Like,
yeah, and it's not just these as well, because I made designs with it. But what I really like,
I do like that.
The little controller holders, battery pack covers for Xbox pads and Game Boys. But I'm enjoying not just making them but painting them as well.
So is this also?
Yeah, this is 3D printed.
That is really good though.
And you can change the insert, so if you've got a different colour Xbox, you can put different coloured inserts in it as well.
Yeah, that is really good.
There's a lot of things that you can't buy anymore really easy, so printing them is just an easy way of doing it.
And of course we have the Mega Drive section. Now, I do remember the Mega Drive as well. We did have a Mega Drive, and we played a lot of games on it. Streets of Rage. Oh, I love Streets of Rage. Sonic 1 and 2. Never really played the third one until I was like a lot older. But I just look like all the nostalgia here. I mean, you've got Mega Drive, you've got Master System, and Sega Saturn. If anyone remembers the Sega Saturn, that was meant to be Sega's answer to the PlayStation and Nintendo 64. But unfortunately, it ended up being the death knell for Sega in a first-party situation. They would go on to make games for the other consoles, but this would be the last console after the Dreamcast. So this and the Dreamcast were the last consoles he ever produced. So this was the second. That was the second to last console they produced. So Saturn, it was not successful, unfortunately. And of course, we got some really he has some really nice the Nintendo section. Of course, we have the NES. I've never played an NES. I've played NES games, but I've never actually had one of these, and they're really cool. What I find pretty funny though is the cartridge system. Like, there was one of them which had it like that. In fact, this one here, if you look at the SNES, it kind of reminds me of a toaster. Because you lift it up, and you put it in. Kind of like a toaster, which I always find quite funny. I've actually seen designs people have made that have turned it into like a toaster. Like, it's a console, but it looks like a toaster. It's quite funny. And of course, Nintendo 64 games here, and an actual Nintendo 64 right there with what many people would call one of the greatest platformers of all time, Super Mario 64. That is a very, very historic game. And here is the GameCube. Very interesting, because it is literally a tiny cube with a little carry handle. That is literally the console. Just a cube with a handle, and oh look, there's Sonic DX Director's Cut, Sonic Adventure, one of the best Sonic games ever made, in my opinion, anyway. And then, of course, we've got the Wii and Wii U. They're more modern, but everyone, even if you're not into playing games, you're aware of the Wii. We're aware of the Wii. The Wii was so popular, it entered that global spectrum, like the DS. Like, in fact, if we go on to the other side, the handheld section. So here we are, the DS, the Game Boy Advance SP, and that's a Game Boy Pocket over there. I have had pretty much every one of these. I've had an SP, I didn't have a Pocket, but I had the bigger Game Boy. And the Game Boy Advance, there's a Game Boy Advance here. I had one of these, and I still think it's one of the best handheld consoles to this day, due to nostalgia factor. And there's the aforementioned DS, a console that was so popular, even the elderly were buying them for games like Brain Age and Dr. Karashima's Brain Training. There was a lot of like games that sort of like were perfect for like elderly people to like keep their mind sharp, and people would. There was even like reading like probe things for the DS and everything. It was amazing. It was a very versatile console. They even had them. Do you know they even had them in hospitals? There was like certain hospitals like in London and like in America. They had DSs on standby for like children and like just for people to use while they were in hospital. Yeah, that's how popular they were. I believe there was even some there were some hotel chains like Hilton Hotel. I believe for a while they even had them available as well. Don't quote. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I'm pretty sure I heard that from someone. And here we go. So like some things currently being made. There's a squirrel here ready to go on display. That is really good, to be fair. And that is a nice mask as well. It's not just about games though. If you're a wrestling fan, you've got your wrestling figures, your WWE. Quite a good WWE collection actually, but like a shrine, if you will. With your WWE DVDs. I mean, there's even an ECW bit down there, and yeah, it's quite interesting if you're a fan of wrestling. There's always probably something that maybe you're into collecting figures and you want to add to your collection. Good place to start, maybe. And right here, this really nice CRT television. It's amazing to see CRT televisions now because we're so used to full screen plasma TVs, like smart TVs. And it's amazing to see now that CRT like this can still be used, still be run to this day, and it's amazing. And here we are, look, we have WrestleMania 2000 on Nintendo 64 running on a CRT the way it was meant to be played. And that is amazing. So yeah, like, there are many things to see and discover over here. And if you're ever in the area, would like to pop in, there you go. I've given you plenty of reasons to, so you never know. Hello, I'm with Steve. He's the owner of the shop, and I'm going to have some questions to ask. If that's okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what made you want to start a shop like this?
I love gaming.
Good answer. Good answer.
You know,
Good answer.
Growing up as a kid, I've got a lot of memories of playing video games with my dad, with my brothers. I've had normal jobs, but when I finish my normal job, I want to go home and relax and chill out and play some video games.
Fair.
And
I
thought,
get that.
Yeah, what better way to earn a living than do something you love?
Of course, yeah. So, what would you say was out of all of these, what would you say was the best thing you've been able to get for here?
What I've got in stock now.
Yes.
Probably my favourite thing is what we've just been playing.
Yeah.
Nintendo 64 on. How did you put it earlier?
The way it was meant to be.
Yeah, playing it on a CRT TV the way it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it looks really cool as well. I wasn't planning on buying TVs, but it was something that came into the shop. It was from a gamer.
I mean, it's a good piece as well, because as soon as you come in, you see it, and it's a good way of getting people interested. That's what I would say, anyway.
My only problem is people like it that much that they want to buy it, but I want to keep it, and that's kind of not the best way to run a business. But I really like my TV.
It's a good strategy. It's a good way of saying it, I'd say. What would be your favourite console?
My favourite console, controversial, but it's the Wii U.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason I love the Wii U is because you could do everything that you could on the Wii. You can use all the same controllers and peripherals.
You could.
But Nintendo are very good at co-op and couch play. So it doesn't matter how old you are, your gran can play, your kids can play, you can all get together.
They've always been that orientated as well. Like, a lot of these are like, a lot of what Nintendo do is meant to be family friendly. So
yeah, it's just a fun console, and having the two screens that you can use at the same time, you can't do that with any other console. No. So having two screens and being able to play, it's almost like you're playing online, but together.
A lot of their party games, the Wii U also, they had it so a group of people would be playing it on the television, but one person would be using the big gamepad, and that'd be how they're looking through it. And so in a way, you had it was like 5 players. Like that's quite good, because
there was a Luigi's Mansion game where you pick the Mario characters, and one person's the ghost.
Yeah, I remember that.
To stop people seeing who the ghost was on the little screen, but he could see everybody else, but nobody could see him. And
yeah, I thought that was really innovative. There's some, honestly, I think the Wii U was one of those consoles where, unfortunately, it was overlooked, but it had a lot of potential for
bad marketing. I think the way it was promoted when it was first released.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I hate to say it, but it was just their way of it was their test for the Switch. That's literally what it was. It was like, can we do it? So, can we do our handheld? That was their thing. And the Wii U was basically their sort of template for that, their prototype.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if they'd have kept that technology of having 2 independent screens, whereas now the Switch, you can play it handheld and portable, but once you dock it, that's it, the screen's no good.
I think, if they had a sort of hybrid design, I think it would have been really good. I think a hybrid design would have been really interesting. Like a handheld, I've seen imagine a handheld, a tinier one comes out.
That'd be fantastic.
I could see that happening one day.
And I think that's why when companies are designing new games machines and new consoles, listening to the customer, listening to the people that play games, they can tell you what they want. And if you give people what they want, they're going to buy it.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what they go for. And people like the idea. And that's why the Switch was made, because people like the idea of a handheld like console, because that's what the main controller was. It was like a big controller, but had like a screen in the middle.
Yeah.
And so like you could play it, but like you could attach it and play it separately. And that's obviously why I think it was a prototype for the Switch, because the Switch is the exact same thing. A dock, you take it out and just play it normally.
Yeah, that was it. It was fantastic. But again, Nintendo have always had the handhelds all the way back from the Game Boy. And, you know, the Game Boy was great because you could stick it in your pocket, whereas the Wii U, you know, a little bit too cumbersome. You can't take that with you.
Yeah,
that's where your Switch came from.
Yeah, that's probably why. It was feedback and all that. And, of course, I've got to ask this one. What's your favourite game?
Favourite game, all-time favourite game. I know it's a lot of people's. It's a generic one, but it's got to be Ocarina of Time on the N64.
Understandable. That was a really good one. I've played it. I can honestly see why. It's one of the best Zelda games.
Yeah, but I think as an obscure one, like I like my Ocarina of Time. I like Shenmue on the Dreamcast.
Yep, sure, yep.
But as an obscure one, Siren Blood Curse. You can download that on PlayStation 4. It was a PlayStation. I think it was a PlayStation 1 game. Really, really good Japanese horror survival game.
I haven't heard of that one.
But it's got that very Japanese theme with the graphics and the sound.
Of course, yeah.
And the soundtrack alone is terrifying. And then, yeah, if you've not played it, check it out. Really good game.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been really good talking to you about this. And if any of you like what we've been talking about, please come on down. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Thank you.